I'm Andrew Ryan, and here's what happened in the first week of 2023. One of the biggest stories of the week, Taiwan's top military research body says part of a Taiwanese supersonic missile was sent out for repairs in China. Authorities say that no data was leaked, but the blunder comes as a shock to many. Ryan Ho-Kilpatrick reports.
They're among the first lines of defense in the event of a Chinese invasion of Taiwan. But a part of the Xiongfeng-3 carrier-killer missile system was sent to China for repairs. The weapons developer, the National Zhongshan Institute of Science and Technology, or NCSIST, has ruled out any data breach. But critics are still aghast at how the military's top research body could have risked putting its most advanced missile system in Beijing's hands.
在事前是不是本来中国应该在这方面要细心一点？那在维修上面或者是采购上面来讲，可能事先就要稍微去防范。如果有发生这种状况，或者是说，甚至你在采购的时候，可能就要跟厂商要说清楚。
The Zhongshan Institute says it sent a theodolite used in the supersonic missile system back to the manufacturer in Switzerland for maintenance. It was only when they got it back that they realized the manufacturer had sent it to their Asia Repair Center in Shandong, China, without notifying Taiwan. The institute says it took out the theodolite's memory cards before handing it over and checked the device for any harmful software after the repairs. They say no data leaks occurred, but observers are urging them to ensure this never happens again.
已经装备已经拿到手之后，你在安装的时候，那我可能都要事先会想到说，是不是会有这种状况。
The revelations come at a sensitive time when Taiwan's government is asking citizens to give more of their money and time to the military, boosting its budget and extending mandatory conscription. But incidents like this one do little to bolster the public's trust in its armed forces. Ryan Ho-Kilpatrick for TaiwanPlus.
Another military story from this past week. Experts say that it could become harder to track Chinese military planes that fly close to Taiwan, especially if they operate at night. Footage of recent Chinese Air Force drills shows advanced J-20 stealth fighter jets taking off around 2 a.m. Experts in Taiwan say that nighttime operations like these are harder to track because of limited visibility. They also say that Taiwan should bolster its surveillance and radar capabilities as planes like the J-20 have stealth technology and can avoid detection. There were new details this week on Taiwan's plans to extend the length of required military service to a year. The Defense Ministry is also planning to more than triple the pay for conscripts, but they say the new salary won't be available from day one. Stash Butler reports.
Taiwanese conscripts training hard, but for little financial reward. Right now, they get just $210 a month. In 2024, that will rise to $660, but the Defense Ministry says that's only from 8 weeks after enlisting.
他取得了一个专长的证书，他变成说可以领那个专业加级是10190元，所以是他结训拿到证书合格证书下部队之后，他所领的才是20320元，这是有阶段性的一个领跟条件性的一个发给的方式。
The pay deal is one of several details to emerge on Thursday about Taiwan's plan to extend conscription to a year. When President Tsai Ing-wen announced the change in December, the ministry said conscripts would get training with these top-of-the-line Javelin anti-tank missiles. That raised some eyebrows among experts who say equipment like Javelins and Stinger missiles are too expensive for new recruits to use.
It does not make sense at all to train a conscript to fire a Stinger that's worth tens of thousands of US dollars, and only for him to be discharged in 6 months' time.
But the ministry has refuted those concerns and says its plan is sound.
那标枪飞弹概率要实施4周的训练，那同样的，他的部队里面会持续用模拟器的方式来增加他的一个训练的强度。那最后要做实弹射击化，我们会结合年度的武器射击的流程来做一个射击的训练。
The plans for longer conscription come as Taiwan faces off an increasingly aggressive China. Beijing claims Taiwan as its own and has not ruled out taking the island nation by force. Taipei officials hope more rigorous military training can ward off potential threats and better serve Taiwan's defense. Damon Lin and Stash Butler for TaiwanPlus.
Ground staff at Taiwan's Main International Airport started the year by going on strike. The workers who serve EVA Air walked out on January 1st to protest what they say is low pay and inadequate annual bonuses. The airline is also facing another walkout during the busiest travel season of the year. Leslie Liao met up with a union representative to find out what the strikers are asking for.
Chen You is the chairman of Evergreen Airline Services, or EGAS. His face is covered with sweat as he helps move luggage at Taiwan International Airport, Taiwan's main travel hub. It's not every day you see the chairman of a company work the front lines, but EGAS staff, which handle ground crew operations for sister company and Taiwan's second largest airline, EVA Airways, spontaneously went on strike over New Year's weekend. Employees collectively took annual leave in protest. Chen says he has no choice but to get to work and help solve the most urgent problems. But for EGAS employees, the problem is low pay and poor management. EGAS does not have its own labor union, so TaiwanPlus caught up with EVA Airways labor union rep Huang Siting to learn more about the EGAS workers' plight.
Actually, it is a spontaneous protest, so the workers are not well organized. But as far as I know, I think a raise in salary and year-end bonus and better management style and replenishment of workforce are their main should be their main demands.
Huang doesn't think EGAS officials have attempted to reach out to workers.
We only see the chairman. They went to the airport and handling the luggages themselves. Other than that, I don't see any. They just say that the salary or the year-end bonus is fair.
And he doesn't think the government has been proactive in resolving the dispute.
The Minister of Transport just asked the workers in EGAS to send to negotiate with the company. But well, I think the company is very stern. They are not likely to give in much of the demands by the EGAS workers.
EGAS workers have started to return to work, but that doesn't mean they're happy. They don't rule out the possibility of staging another strike over the Lunar New Year holiday. Huang thinks it's more likely than not.
Well, it is very likely. Actually, last year there's also a lot of taking day off on the national holidays. So it is a long-term problem. It's not just this year. Only this time a lot of air flights are delayed, so it is come to the notice of the general public.
Compared to the rest of the world, Taiwan's borders opened only recently, so the public is eager to travel in and out of the country again. And with the country's biggest holiday season around the corner, ground staff might have the leverage to get what they're asking for. Kama Xu and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
January 1st is a great time for fireworks, for starting fresh, and apparently for new government policies. Eric Gao has more.
Taiwan welcomed 2023 with a huge fireworks display at the iconic Taipei 101 skyscraper. And as people were making New Year's resolutions, the government made some New Year's regulations. Several new policies took effect on January 1st. They include everything from civil rights to economics to environmental protection. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. First, lots of changes for the country's young people. They are now legally considered adults at 18 years old. Previously, it was 20. This means they can do things like open bank accounts and apply for credit cards without a parent's consent. The minimum age for marriage has also been standardized at 18. It used to be 17 for men, 16 for women. But 18-year-olds still cannot vote. That's because a referendum to lower the voting age from 20 failed to pass in November. There's good news for people who are making minimum wage. That is being hiked for the 7th straight year. As of January 1st, the minimum monthly paycheck went up by about $37 to just over $850. The hourly rate also went up by about 25 cents to nearly $6 an hour. Those are both hikes of about 4.5%. They will benefit about 2.3 million workers. And with ongoing inflation, every little bit helps. There's also a major change in place for Taiwan's judicial system. Ordinary citizens will now help decide some criminal cases. Taiwan courts don't have juries, only professional judges. Now, the 3 judges will be joined by 6 citizen judges. They'll begin by hearing homicide trials before expanding to other major criminal cases. The citizen judges will have a say in both the verdicts and the sentencing. The goal is to boost public confidence in Taiwan's judicial system. As for environmental policy, the government is ending subsidies for long-haul buses that run on gasoline and diesel. This year, if coach companies want to replace their old vehicles, they will only get financial assistance if they buy new electric buses. They're aiming to have 16 to 18% of the country's coach fleet be electric by the end of the year. This is part of the government's plan to only sell electric vehicles in the country by 2030. And those are the biggest policy changes in Taiwan to start off 2023. Hopefully, they help make a better year for everyone. Alex Chen, Irene Wu, and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
And now a look at the number of the week. Taiwan began 2023 with a sobering statistic about the birth rate, which hit a new low in 2022. Only 126,000 babies were born between January and November of last year. That's a nearly 9% decline from 2021. Taiwan's falling birth rate is already considered a national security crisis. Fewer children being born means the workforce will start to drop off before the end of the decade. It also poses a long-term problem for the military, with a smaller pool to recruit from. Civic groups say the government needs to spend more on subsidies and childcare to encourage people to have more kids. Now here's something that might encourage people to have kids: bunny money. What am I talking about? Well, every year Taiwan's central bank mints special commemorative coins for the upcoming Lunar New Year. Now this year it's the Year of the Rabbit. The coins are popular and have a dedicated fan base. Leslie Liao was at the launch for this year's coins.
In Taiwan, people will prepare for weeks beforehand to make sure that they have an auspicious Lunar New Year. Common traditions include cleaning the house or buying new clothes in the lead up to the holiday. But another important part of Lunar New Year is money. You give it, you get it, and you wish for it. One way people wish for more moolah in the new year is by purchasing these lucky commemorative coins issued by Taiwan's central bank and sold by the Bank of Taiwan. This year is the Year of the Rabbit, so that's right, we're talking about bunny money. Taiwan's central bank started minting their annual commemorative zodiac coins 30 years ago. While the central bank issues the coins, it's the Bank of Taiwan that sells them. These shiny treasures are popular, and over the years, they've garnered a loyal following.
买了第2轮了，买第2轮，20几年了，退休到现在，每一年都来，收集起来就看得很漂亮，很高兴这样子。给孙子啊、儿子啊这样的，好像传家之宝一样啊。
我已经差不多收集了15年，每年都会来买，还蛮漂亮的。就是觉得如果收集12生肖，这样会比较有纪念这样。
It used to be the case that you had to line up for a while to get your hands on them.
上一轮的龙年有没有？我4点在家里起床，来到这里拍有没有？拍得很长啊，天还没亮就拍了4、5个钟头。
以前都要差不多半夜就要来拍了。到22号。
But in recent years, people have been able to save themselves the trip. This year, 90,000 coin sets are available for purchase. Half of those are available online, while the other half can be purchased directly at participating bank branches.
我们这个网络预购主要是针对疫情，让大家能够事先网络预购，能够疏解这个排队的这个压力。
Online pre-sales for the coins went live on December 12th last year, while physical sales only kicked off on Wednesday morning. Now, the combined face value of these two coins is just above $3.5 US, but they represent so much more than that. They represent luck, they represent hope, and everything you need to have a happy Year of the Rabbit. Howard Zhang and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Thanks so much for joining us for this brand new show to kick off 2023. Be sure to join us every Saturday for Here's What Happened. Finally, today we leave you with one of our favorite shots from this past week. It's latte art by a barista in southern Taiwan. He's taken the internet by storm. I'm Andrew Ryan. Take care. We'll see you next week.